In the heart of a forgotten town, nestled between dark alleys and old brick buildings, stood the Ravenwood Hotel. Its faded sign hung crookedly, a relic from another time, whispering secrets only the wind seemed to understand. The hotel was nothing more than a forgotten shadow, a place for the curious, the lost, and the brave. But of all its rooms, one stood out. Room 323. Rumors swirled around the hotel like an unseen fog. They said that anyone who stayed in room 323 would experience vivid nightmares, disturbing visions that would haunt them long after their stay. The guests who entered the room never returned the same. Some left in the middle of the night, their belongings scattered across the floor, never to be seen again. The most disturbing part, their belongings were always left behind, an abandoned trace of a life that had once existed in the room. The locals knew something was wrong with the hotel. The older residents spoke in hushed tones about the crimes that occurred there, rumors dating back to the 1920s. They say the room was the site of a gruesome crime. A man, once a guest, murdered his wife in cold blood. But the truth was lost in the shadows of time. Some believed that the room was cursed, that the restless spirits of the past lingered there, trapped in a loop of violence and sorrow. As the years went on, the hotel stood empty, its guests too afraid to return, their minds scarred by the horrors they had witnessed. But there was always someone willing to take the risk, the brave, the curious, and those with nothing left to lose. The latest visitor was a young journalist, eager to uncover the truth behind the hotel's dark past. He checked into room 323, unknowing of the nightmares that awaited him, unknowing of the darkness that would begin to unravel his mind. The first night was uneventful. The room was silent, save for the occasional creak of the old building settling. But as the clock struck midnight, the dreams began. Vivid, horrific visions that gripped him in terror. He dreamt of the hotel in flames, of people screaming for help as shadows devoured them. In the nightmare, he saw room 323, but it was not the same room. It was filled with shadows, the walls pulsating with an unnatural energy. When he awoke, drenched in sweat, he couldn't shake the feeling that something had followed him back into the waking world. And then, the visions began to blur with reality. He couldn't tell what was a nightmare and what was real anymore. He would hear the whispers, calling his name from the darkness, tempting him to open the door. It was then that the truth hit him. Room 323 wasn't just haunted. It was a portal, a thin veil between the living and the dead. He realized that he had become part of the hotel's tragic history. Doomed to repeat the horrors of the past, the hotel's curse had claimed another soul. And as dawn broke, the hotel remained, silent, waiting for the next lost soul to wander in. Room 323 would always be there, a temptation for those seeking answers they were never meant to find. In the years that followed, more souls would be drawn into its cursed embrace, their lives fading into the darkness. The hotel would endure, its walls echoing with the stories of the lost, the damned, and the forgotten. The true history of room 323 was lost to time, but its curse remained, growing stronger with each passing guest. And so, the cycle continued. Those who dared to stay would find themselves trapped between realms, caught in the hotel's insatiable hunger for souls. The hotel waits, its curse eternal, waiting for the next soul, foolish enough to enter room 323. One day, someone will uncover the truth, but by then, they may already be too late. Until then, the Ravenwood Hotel stands, waiting. And room 323, it will never be empty again. Never.